Hello, everybody. We're going to work on this from the road again today. And what we're going to be doing is working on the steering a little bit on the A959B. We're going to screw up and start over at least once. So let's get started. Hey, for anybody that sticks around to the end of this, or if you want to just skip to the end of this, I've got some footage of me just goofing around with the car. Some of it's in the dirt, so kind of fun stuff. Anyway, what the tie rod ends do is control how much in or out there is. So we want to try to get the tires parallel, keeping in mind that the rolling resistance of the car, as the car is going forward, it pushes the tires back. So they're going to flex back some. So you want to have them just slightly towed in when the car's in the forward motion, then they will actually push themselves back. There is some slack in there. And I did order some bearings to go in here. I believe this car just has bushings in it. So I ordered a set of bearings. I'm going to change these out real quick. One other thing. As you can see, this tire is tilted out at the bottom, more so than this one is. Put it on the desk. It'll be a little easier to see. Okay, so you can see it's tilted this way just a little bit off a parallel. This one is not as bad. So I'll get all this stuff adjusted. I don't think you need to really watch me change these screws out. All it is, these have Allen head screws in them. Pull those off, and then it's going to go back with Phillips screws. And get that changed off camera, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to put the GPS on here. We'll do a real quick speed run. Put some double-sided tape on this thing real quick. Borrowed my wife's scissors out of her kitchen, so don't tell anybody.
Hey, I'm right here.
Never mind. I think we got the scissor incident cleared up. So I got the GPS on here, and we're zeroed out at 0 kilometers per hour. And I will say on this GPS, a couple of things I don't like on it. One of them is it uses a mini USB to charge it. It's the only thing I have, I think, anymore that uses a mini USB. And I can't get a driver for it to change it to miles per hour. So we're working in kilometers per hour. The front end, I got it kind of set up where I wanted it. And I just put some hot glue on there as a temporary measure. And we'll see where things go from there. I'm not going to put the body on here this time either, just so we kind of have a better comparison. Well, traction issues. I need to trim it out some since I changed all the stuff on the front end. And we're at 57 kilometers per hour, but the hot glue didn't hold up, so this thing is continuously adjusting itself. See if I can resolve this, and we'll be right back. Okay, we're back at 0. Okay, 58 kilometers per hour. So that seems to be where we are. One other thing I want to throw in here real quick. These are real turnbuckles, so you got one side is right hand thread, one side is left hand thread. And if you notice, there's a ring here and there's an index mark here, and those two ends go together. So if you ever take this thing completely apart, it kind of helps to know that those are the two that go together. One of the things you want to do when if you're going to go in here and change the front end and stuff up, you want to be sure you center your servo, and you want to put it up as close to the top as you can on this particular car. And it's going to vary with whatever car you have, and you can actually run the servo through full length of motion, and when you do that, you'll see which way it's supposed to be in the center. This particular setup, one thing that's nice, and I didn't like the digital servo thing at first for the trim, but what I do find, and I hope the beeping isn't too obnoxious, this thing has a different tone when you find the center. So once you start off and you get this as close as you can, you put your components on, you get everything close, then you get in here, and that's got about 30 clicks in either direction. And when you get to the last click, it doesn't make any noise. It keeps clicking, but the beep's gone. When you get to the center, there's a long beep. And it doesn't matter which way you go. If you keep going this way, it's short beeps. Go back this way, you got a long beep in the middle. So you turn on the radio, you turn on the car. Once you've got everything generally set up, that's going to be the center of your servo travel when this thing gives you a long beep. Different cars are different. But anyway, that's the way it is on the A959B, and the 959 also uses the same controller. So then you're pretty much centered up. Then you get your front end set up to where the wheels look good, and you're happy with all your alignment, and then you can go out and test drive it and fine tune it. The one thing I did that didn't work to start with, I put hot glue on here to kind of lock it in place while I fine-tuned it. Well, as soon as I just put it on there cold, and so as soon as I started making adjustments to it, it failed at the park. I brought it home, and all I had to do was actually put some heat right on the piece right here in the middle, and it actually flowed the hot glue, and that worked out really well. So I'd make an adjustment and reheat that, and I just use an old soldering iron. I wouldn't use a good one, but I use my old soldering iron, and you can lock those things in real well with that stuff. This one is still locked in. I've been tuning on these two over here. So this one's still locked in. So it's moving the whole turnbuckle. But that's what I can do. Put a little heat on it right here, and you'll see it flow. It actually turns kind of clear when you put that on there, when you put the heat to it. So that's about the best I got for right now. If I think of something else, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, so if I think of something else, I'll put it in the closing in a bit. Oh, I did have two more cars come in. We got this one. It says WL I don't know. It looks just like the WLTOYS. Don't know how they spec these things, but I'll try to get to that one when I get home. I'll be gone for a week. And I got this one. That one actually has two motors in it. So I'm anxious to try to tinker with that one. It says it's all metal gearing and stuff, and two motors, a 4-wheel drive, and it says it's 10th scale. I don't know. The box isn't much longer than the other one, so we'll see. Anyway, that's what I got coming up. Okay, I just wanted to be sure this was the one I thought it was. It says it has metal 8 arms, metal transmission shaft, aluminum alloy cooling fins, 60 amp ESC, I don't know, air cooling system, double motor, metal drive cups, and rubber tires. So anyway, looking forward to checking this one out. And it's a little too late today to do my tire swap for another top speed run, so we'll just tinker a little bit. Wow, that was a short tinker. Well, I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. I don't know what the deal was with the initial 60-mile or 60 kilometer per hour run that I did. Um, is kind of a bad on me. I showed 60 and then I ran it again. I didn't clear the GPS out first. It stayed maxed at 60. So I don't know if the 60 was a fluke when everything was stock or not, but I did not duplicate it and I'm not going to rip everything back apart and put all the plastic pieces back on. Uh, I'm not done with the front end alignment, so right now we're going to stick with 58 kilometers per hour as a max speed on it, which is, I don't know, 36-ish miles per hour. So we'll go with that for now. And I'm going to take the bushings out, put bearings in, a few more modifications on this. And hopefully this weekend, it's a very busy weekend for me, but I'm going to, the intent is to at least look at the car with the dual motors. The Judge, I think it's called. Anyway, I appreciate everybody sticking with me with all the goofy videos and goofy locations I'm having to film this from right now. It's I got a really, really, really crazy schedule. So as soon as this gets wrapped up, another 2 weeks, I'll be on a different schedule, and eh, hopefully I'll be able to get a little more on track with all this stuff. Anyway, thanks for sticking with me. Share this with somebody. Give me some comments, questions, complaints in the comments section. Subscribe and share it with some friends. Thanks. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you later.